Hello again. In this video we will be assigning color to this illustration and we will be preparing it so it can be animated afterwards. As you can see, I have prepared the color palette here off screen between videos because I don't want to focus too much on preparing a color palette, so feel free to use any color palette that you like. The important aspect of this course will be centered on how to animate this illustration. So, we're going to continue working on it. Let's begin. I'm going to hide this layer with the sketch because I don't need it anymore, and I'm going to create a new one that I'm going to call Colors. So I'm going to take the selection tool, click and drag and select every element on screen, and as you can see on the layers panel, this little square will appear at the right side of this layer. This square represents the selected artwork on this layer. So I'm going to hold Alt, click and drag the square to the Colors layer. So I have created a copy of the entire illustration on the Colors layer. Now I'm going to select these color palette shapes and I'm going to move them to the Colors layer as well. I'm going to rename the Vectors layer as Lines and I'm going to hide it. So I'm going to work mostly on the Colors layer during this video. So first of all, I'm going to delete everything that's an open line. For example, the fumes here, I'm going to delete this. I'm also going to delete the middle lines of the coffee pot and the line for the floor. Okay, now I'm going to select everything and click on this little arrow that swaps fill and stroke, or press Shift X on the keyboard. So before we had only strokes and no fill, and now we have it the other way around. So now I'll simply take the eyedropper here, which is on the toolbar, and I'm going to start selecting elements and clicking on the color palette that I have created to start assigning colors to each element of this illustration. So I'm going to assign this light blue color to everything that's either glass or metal, like the coffee pot, and I want to use it again for the paper holder for the cupcake, because I don't want to use too many different colors. I'll select the paper holder and go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front, so it's on top of the cupcake. Now moving on, I'm going to use this brown color to color everything that's actually coffee, that's the liquid. So I'm going to do so, and for the foam on this mug I'm just going to use pure white. And I'm also going to use this brown color for the cupcake. For the remaining elements on the coffee pot, I'm going to use this darker shade of blue. Okay, so everything is ready on the colors layer now. I'm going to unhide the lines layer and I'm going to start coloring the lines as well. For example, I'm going to take all these elements, all these lines, and I'm going to color them with a darker shade of blue. Just like this. There we go. Always be sure to keep all of your lines with the same stroke weight. Again, I'm going to color the lines for the coffee pot with this dark shade of blue. So basically, everything that has a light blue color should have a dark blue for the lines. And the lines surrounding the coffee should have this dark brown color. Of course, this is only a suggestion. You can use whatever color you prefer. Okay, so moving on to the next element. I'll color the line for the cupcake with a dark brown too. And I'm going to color both of these spirals with a pure white. Finally, I'm going to take the rectangle tool, I'm going to select the colors layer, and I'll draw a big rectangle across the entire canvas. So I'm going to take the eyedropper and color it with this light yellow. And I'm going to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back, so it's on the very back of this layer. Okay, so we have our background now, and you can clearly see the white lines against it. So I'm going to color this line with a color that's slightly darker than this yellow. So I'll take the eyedropper, hold Shift and pick up this yellow color, and then I'm going to modify it on the Colors panel. And I'll go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back and send it to the very back of this layer. Okay, now I'm going to make some minor adjustments. First of all, I'm going to select all my lines and check if they are the same stroke weight. In this case, 5 points, all round cap and all round joint. It's important to check this to be sure that the lines have consistency. And I think I don't want any black lines on this illustration, so I'll recolor those lines with a dark blue color. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to modify the line for this cupcake. I want to cut it in half. So I'll press C on my keyboard to bring the scissors tool, and I'm going to click here and here, and I'm going to simply delete the bottom part. And since this is still overlapping this, I'm going to select this line, go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. Okay, perfect, there we go. So now I'm fixing a very minor issue, which is that this middle part of the coffee pot is not perfectly aligned to the other parts, so I'm taking care of that. By the way, I'm going to lock the colors layer, so I don't select anything by mistake there, and I'm going to fine-tune these elements. Now I think I will merge these two lines because I think it will look better that way. So I'm going to select both of these lines, go to Window, Pathfinder, and click on Unite. There we go. Okay, so there are some extra lines that I want to delete because I won't need them. For example, I'm going to double click on this object to enter isolation mode. I'll bring the scissors tool by pressing C. And with the scissors, I'm going to cut here, and I want to delete this part that's redundant with the other shape. You'll see why I'm doing this once we are on Adobe After Effects animating these lines. But for now, let me tell you that I'm deleting every line that's covering other line, or that's overlapping another line and that you won't be able to see really. I want to keep my lines at a minimum. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now for these chocolate chips. I'm going to delete the line, I'm going to simplify them as just being shapes. And I'm going to unlock the colors layer, and I'm going to change this color from black to a dark brown. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to lock the lines layer, and I'll work with the colors layer a little bit because I want to create shadows. So let's bring the Pathfinder panel again. So let's begin. I'm going to select this shape, I'm going to hit Ctrl C on the keyboard to copy and Ctrl F to paste a duplicate that's perfectly in front of the original one. Then select it, hold Alt, click and drag a bit to the left and release. And I'm going to select both this shape and click on minus front on the Pathfinder. So as you can see, I have created a cutout shape using these two new duplicates that I created, and I'm going to color it with a darker shade of blue. And I'm going to repeat this process over and over. For example, I'm going to do the same thing for this other shape, and once I have the cutout shape, I'm going to color it with this color that I have prepared. There we go. I think I'm going to assign this color to the handle as well. So let's go over it again. So first select the original shape, hit Ctrl C and Ctrl F to create a duplicate exactly in front. Then hold Alt, click and drag to the left, release to create another copy. Hold Shift on the keyboard to add to the selection, select both shapes, and click on minus front on the Pathfinder panel. So we have this new shape, and I'm going to assign a darker color for it. It's very simple once you get the hang of it. Let's do it again, but faster. Select the shape, Ctrl C, Ctrl F, then click and drag while holding Alt, select both elements, and click on minus front on the Pathfinder panel. And in this case, it has created an unnecessary shape that you see here. I'm going to select it and delete it. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with the other elements. I'm going to take a different approach for this one. I'm going to draw a rectangle on top of the shape, Then select the shape and hit Ctrl+C, Ctrl+F to create a duplicate. Then select both the shape and the rectangle, and on the Pathfinder panel select Intersect. So I have created a new shape that's exactly half of this coffee pot. I think I'm going to change the color for that layer's outlines, so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. I can do this by double clicking on the layer and choosing a different color. Okay, now I'm going to select this shape, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+F. Then I'll create a rectangle that goes across it. Now while holding Shift, I'll select both shapes. And on the Pathfinder panel, I'll choose Intersect. And now I'll change the color using the eyedropper tool. For this part, I'm going to Ctrl+C, Ctrl+F to create a duplicate. Click and drag holding Alt to create a second duplicate and select both. And then Intersect. And finally, I'm going to assign a different color. Another approach you may take is to carefully draw a new shape on top of the original one. This is a valid approach, and it's more comfortable when the shape is simple and has no curves. Okay, so now all the shadows are complete. This is all for this video. On the next one, I'll show you how to organize the files so you can export it from Adobe Illustrator to Adobe After Effects, so it's ready to start animating it. See you there!